The Joel Fernandez Show is a talk show channeled spontaneously from source to edify and help raise the vibrations of truthers, starseeds, Christic alchemists, and others who have seen through this illusionary matrix into messianic consciousness by discussing hidden knowledge, higher dimensions, and manifesting so that we can shine our light for everyone to see and co create the earth that we know we actually deserve to live in. Don't! I gotta go! I'm working on the show!
Did you see the deck up there?
Yeah, I did.
And I think I found the staircase to go up it. Can you go up it with me?
Right now? Where's the staircase? Yes, it is.
This is
Alright, be careful because this. Yeah, they're not even stairs. Oh, we got some roots here.
almost there. Stairs are actually open.
Right there. Hey guys, welcome back to the Joel Fernandez Show. I'm your host, Joel Fernandez, and I'm filming from the CRV today because I just got back from an amazing vacation. I went with some other families to a camp out here, just not too far from Calgary actually, just about 2 hours drive away. And man, it was just amazing getting away, and this location was literally off the grid. Like, once you got on the property, it was like all oppressive thoughts, all thoughts of like city life or whatever you had to do, they just vanished because this place was separate from all those other entities. And honestly, it was great. And as soon as I drove off the property, man, you could tell like just the difference in the energy and just the way this place was run. It was absolutely amazing. And like, my original intention going there was to get away from everything and just take a break, just get in tune with my own thoughts and really figure out where I want to take a lot of the work that I've been up to, and especially like the videos with this channel. I really want to take it seriously and really want to make the videos count, you know. But man, there was no time, and the other children there, they didn't let me rest. Like, we did everything from archery.
I don't know. She says that.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks.
And even like hikes around the woods, man, the place was just amazing. And when I get to hiking, like I just love it. Like I'll get lost. I'm not hiking, like I'm just like getting lost in nature. Sometimes I'll just go off into the grass and like be staring at some flowers or some mushrooms or something. People be thinking that I actually ate some of them, but I don't need the mushrooms to get that in tune with nature. But that's a topic for a whole other episode. Yeah, honestly, I'm exhausted, but it was just great. And the food there was great. Like, they had full catering, and yeah, there were vegan options. Like, they weren't vegan the way I like to eat, clean, healthy vegan, but it was still vegan and it was still legit, and I enjoyed every moment of this experience. We built some amazing campfires, like, really connected with a lot of people that, you don't get to do that. And the atmosphere there is just so connective that you're actually open to these kind of things. And it's just amazing. It's just amazing. It's good to get into nature and really take some time and really figure things out. And of course, there's a few creative projects that I want to get done. So I'm probably going to get to work on those now. But yeah, I'm going to get my stuff back in the house and we're going to get right to work, actually. It's funny hearing all the traffic around the city now, because when we were away, like, there was no traffic. You're out in the woods and it's so peaceful. At night we could hear the coyotes. It was just amazing. It was just such a refreshing experience. But yeah, I'm going to get my stuff into the house. I'm going to get organized, and I'm actually going to be doing one of those projects this evening. I'm going to be making a new cover for my Bible, and I'm going to be walking you guys through that. I don't know if I'm going to make a logo, because I have an old shopping bag that I want to use for the cover, but I might just put some kind of word or symbol on the front just to make it look interesting, because we can. We might as well exercise that creativity while we can. So I'm going to get all my stuff into the house and check back with you guys when I start that project. Alright guys, so this is my old Bible. As you can see, it's pretty tattered and the cover's literally falling off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to literally peel back this cover and I'm going to make a brand new cover for this Bible, because it's got all my markings and highlightings in it, so I don't want that to go to waste. So yeah, I'm just going to begin by cutting out a cardboard cover. This is literally just some cardstock I had laying around. I used to own a print shop, so I have a bunch of paper laying around anyway. And once that's cut to size, I'm just going to score along the spine where it's going to fold. And I'm just going to fold that to shape and make sure that it fits the book. Perfect. Then I'm going to cut out a section out of this bag. This is going to be the facing for the cover. I'm just going to choose the best part of this bag for that. And then I decided to put this messianic logo on the front, but I'm going to do something special with some red satin. So first things first, I'm just going to finalize a good copy of a sketch here. And I've got to make it one piece of a cutout with interlocking segments, because if I don't, then all the inner pieces are just going to fall through and it won't be as accurate as I want it to be. So I'm just going to cut to a speed lapse right now, and I'm going to play Book of Daniel by David Koresh.
I've got a secret that I'd like you to understand. See the book there in the angel's hand. Book of Daniel, it's got a message cries as a lion begins to roar. Secrets are told, mysteries in life to store. What's the thunder? Who knows? Don't you understand? Understand? The book is sealed. The angel stands on earth and sea. Don't it make you cry? All that we can see the cloud, feel the rainfall. Don't you understand? Understand? Seven thunders, all earth and voice. Now you know you've got to make a choice. Will you listen to the mystery of life, the mystery of life, oh. See the angel with a book in his hand, the book of Daniel. It contains the eternal plan, seven thunders. Won't you see? Won't you listen to me? Without the key. Of the seventh angel, when it shall begin to sound, Babylon's gonna fall, gonna come to the ground. Mystery finished as he had declared to his servants the prophets. Won't you beware? Won't you beware?
Alright, so now that that's done, I'm just going to fold over the edges of the cover. And we're going to glue the front and the back pages down to the cover. You don't want to glue the spine because that's got to bend and flex as the book opens. I made that mistake once early in my bookbinding days. And let me tell you, that was an expensive mistake. It just ruined the entire book. But yeah, once that press is dry, this book is good to go. I'm liking that logo. What do you guys think? Looking good. Looking good. But yeah, I am impressed with how that cover turned out. Like, I did a pretty good job in my own humble opinion, I think, and that's the first time I did one of those satin embedded logos. So yeah, I think I did pretty good. But honestly, like, some people would wonder, like, why do we take time to, you know, study this book so that the pages are falling out and, you know, we're highlighting passages and eventually the covers fall off? Like, what's so great about this book as from any other book? It's because this book is literally divine utterance. It literally is alive. And you can't read it with logic. You can't read it with, like, physical understanding because, of course, it doesn't make any sense. But when you read it through your heart space, it just comes alive and changes your life from the inside out. Literally, it changes your life from the inside out. Like literally the very words in the oracles are alive. And that's what's funny. Like before, I used to be like a pretty hot-tempered driver and kind of aggressive, but now, you know, it's just changed me to like so peaceful, so chill, like from the inside out. It's not like a false or a temporary chill like, you know, I would get when I smoke cannabis. No, this is like a real maintained chill. And like people will pass me, they'll cut me off, and I'm just like filled with compassion for them, you know? I'm like, they're probably hurting, they're probably under stress or whatever, right? No judgment. But yeah, nobody chooses to be angry. Nobody chooses to have that form of aggression or that nagging in the back of their head. Nobody wants that by choice. That's just there based on the circumstances that have piled up. And mind you, circumstances are an effect of manifestation, which is an effect of the choices and decisions we make. But nobody's outright choosing, hey, I want to be oppressed today. You know, that's not what life's all about. Life's about feeling good. Life's about connecting with people, learning and growing, and really making those strides to get better in our own skin and as individuals. And that's kind of what's going on with this channel. And even like, I've taken a bit of a hiatus, like for a while, I haven't been posting some reasoning sessions, but you know what? I think it's proper to space out some of these videos so that, you know, you don't get overloaded with the information. Because honestly, if you get it every day, you don't really appreciate it, and a lot of it goes right over your head before you have a chance to assimilate it and really make a new connection so that you can receive the next message and incorporate that into your life and really grow as a process. You know, I'm sure like some of you guys can handle like every day, and even me, like I'm getting revelations every day, but I'm choosing like what to upload and what not to upload. And for a while, I'm not uploading those minor revelations because I am working on that book of Job. I'm getting that all organized for a proper sesh, and maybe even evolve the sessions into like a more in-depth study. We'll see how that goes. Maybe publish 1 or 2 a week. We'll see how the spirit leads. But really, yeah, I want to focus on growing this channel and focusing more on quality rather than quantity, because, you know, quantity is cheap. And, you know, I can spit out like 7 videos a week. That's no problem. But I don't want them to be lousy. So I do want to focus on what's productive and what's progressive and what actually helps you. Like, let me know if I've made mention of something in a previous video or I've covered a topic in a previous video. Comment and let me know, because I'm open to suggestions and I'm willing to take this channel into new depths and explore new mysteries. So definitely shoot me a comment. I read all of them. Even if I don't respond to them all, I still read all of them, and they still touch me, because all of the subscribers on this channel, I know you're truth seekers. I know you're diving deep and you want to know the answers to how reality works and how you can make yourself better in character and circumstances. We're honestly a high vibe tribe, and we're changing the world from the inside out. Meaning we're changing our own lives so that we can affect others and our own situations, and that can ripple out and actually create the world that we're deserving of. That's what it's all about. That's what manifesting is. And the power to get those great manifestations spot on, accurate, and on time come from the living word. When that living word is in you as a source energy, it just flows out and actually creates your dream life. And situations and circumstances and people and all these things that you couldn't even dream of lining up beforehand, just, it's like magnets, just connecting the dots. Kind of like those graphene molecules under electric current. Maybe we won't go into that in this video. That's a whole other issue for probably a whole other series on diving into the rabbit hole, or as I like to call it, the Taurus hole, because it's never ending. It's just a big donut, and you're constantly chasing new secrets and new conspiracies. I mean, it's not like they're conspiracies anymore when they're unfolding right in front of our eyes. And you know, even the media is forced to cover some of this stuff, but the media lies, and it's only a matter of time before the truth is revealed, because they can't cover the truth forever. It's like a fire, and you throw a blanket over it, it's just going to burn up that blanket. So yeah, I mean, like, if you like my Friday the 13th video, shoot me a comment, because even if I don't respond to your comment, I'm reading them all. I'm an introvert in personality, mind you. You probably wouldn't think that listening to the way I talk on this show, but my parents can definitely attest to that. I won't say anything like the first time I meet somebody until I know what subjects they're open to. And mind you, when you're talking this deep and you're really into this esoteric nature of reality and the living logos, like, I can't talk to churchgoers this way, you know. And even a lot of people in the new age, once you mention the Bible, they're just totally shut you down. But we're a unique people, literally like Gideon's army of 300, and we're gonna bash those Midianites, or in our day, Medianites. And we are going to see a new world emerge. Just watch, because the majority of us have done the inner work. We've defeated the enemy in the causal spiritual realms. We know spiritual warfare. We're fighting a battle that cannot be seen. We're not fighting the physical people, because they're all being controlled or manipulated or demonized, whatever you want to call it. They're controlled by these entities in the other realms. So let's not get hung up on the physical circumstances. No matter what they look like, we know that we have the victory in the spirit already. But I've been so busy, man. But honestly, man, I haven't just been busy in the spirit realm, because things are unfolding in the physical. Like, I just got back from a mentoring / deliverance session with a person that, honestly, like, doctors and medicine have completely given up on this person. But you know, when you know where Satan really is coming from and you come against him in the authority of Christ, all they can do is shiver in fright. And that's what we managed to do today. A really good team of people that I wouldn't even have dreamed possible of connecting with. Source just connected me with them like that, and things are unfolding. We've already put together a team of like half a dozen people, and this team is growing. And we're really taking back territory for the Kingdom of Light. Not just physical territory like here in the city of Calgary, but literally territory in people's minds, because that's the real battlefield. It's a battle for your mind, and that's why the media is controlling people through fear. Like, they're controlling people through, you know, bad news and the bad narratives and discouraging, and of course, you know, bad medicine and bad food. Speaking of food, I ordered some ragi in a previous episode, and ragi is basically like red millet, or as it's called, finger millet. Ragi is just the Indian term. And going off on a tangent here, it's literally what, like, the working class in India, or at least where we're from in India, which was Portuguese India. Let's not get into that now, because that's a whole other tangent. But yeah, it's basically what the working class ate. And man, it will build you up like crazy. So I'm going to be having some of that tonight, just cooked up with some spinach and tomatoes. I'm going to throw some flaxseed in there, because as a vegan, I get my omegas that way. Yeah, so I just threw in some ragi in the pot, put some cumin and some turmeric. This is some fresh turmeric, mind you. And just brought that to a low simmer. And I actually found some chard, so I chopped that up and used that instead. Chopped up a few of these tomatoes. And once that was all ready, I just threw in some ground flaxseed, some of these grape tomatoes, and a couple cloves of minced garlic, and it was good to go. You know, being vegan, you just have to research a bit of nutrition, and once you start following like an educated system of nutrition, you're just gonna skyrocket in nutritional value, because what the media and what like the food pyramids and all that other nonsense has been educating us with, it doesn't come near actual living food. And that living food is part of my vows and my contract with Source, because since I've been growing my hair, I just said, you know, Source, I want to embody your life that lives in me. So I'm not going to eat anything that is death, that causes death and that causes suffering to another living animal. So since that decision and since that vow, and since actively keeping that vow, mind you, because, you know, the choice is mine. Promises, talk is all cheap, but the actions that follow literally prove yourself. And since doing that, man, Source has manifested life in my life and into the lives of those around me. So it's great. And mind you, I couldn't have this kind of hair back when I was in school. But another interesting thing was that when I was on this vacation, it just reminded me of these days when my school would take us on like these convention trips to the States, and we would stay on like university campuses for about a week. It was actually during May long, and it would just be like meeting others from this amazing community. We would literally like just be helloing people and smiling and talking to people we didn't even know. And before we knew it, we were making friends from all over the States. There were schools from Brazil, from the Philippines, from South Africa, from New Zealand, Australia, the UK, like honestly everywhere. And it was really great. And when I was at this camp, mind you, it was just like a reminder of that. And Source was like, you know, I'm gonna pick you up from where you left off, because one day after the campfire, it was late, like everybody had already gone to bed. And yeah, it's a camp, there are dorms, and you know, they have a curfew, but we're just sitting out there in the lobby, just a couple of us on these really huge chairs that, you know, you sit in it and you just sink right down, almost touching the floor. Like, it just reminded me of this one time I was sitting with like other classmates, and we had gone down to the States, but we met some of the other friends that we made in another school that was actually local here in Alberta, in Champion, which is a small town, probably like an hour south of Calgary. And we had regional conventions too, which is how we knew these students. But yeah, we were just chatting. I think it was in Missouri that year. And it was just like Source brought so much connection into my life and into these students. It was just like living in a different world, you know, where people are friendly, where people are sociable, where all these kind of things can happen. And it was like a major flashback almost, because it was just like that whole scenario was just brought back to life again. And Source literally told me in that moment, I'm picking you up from where you left off. So it's interesting. I'm excited to see where Source is going to take me in the future, because, you know, since the lockdown in March last year, things were a bit hectic, and I did tap into Source and really grow in that kind of understanding where Source can move and create and connect these dots in my life. But you know, it's literally like the good memories of the past are being re-quickened. And I was going for a walk earlier this summer by my place, and I passed by an old friend's house. They don't live there anymore. Actually, they were twins, which was really fun hanging out with them growing up. And Source is like, you know what? You were never an introvert among the people that you were comfortable chatting with and really playing games with, and quite frankly, all the craziness that we used to do back in the day. Source was like, you're never an introvert with the people that actually listen to the message you have to share. And that is what's being quickened. That is what's being awakened. And all this stuff from our past is just being lined up one after the other. And Source lines things up that, you know, you couldn't even line up. Even when I was at this camp, you know, they had a piano in one of the conference rooms, and they had tuned it just a couple weeks prior to us getting there. And like, they only tune the piano once a year, according to this staff member. But you know what? It's just like Source to line that up. They didn't know I was going to be playing the piano. They didn't know all this stuff. I didn't know they had a piano. I didn't bother, you know, phoning up, hey, you guys have a piano? Is it tuned? None of that. But Source knew, and Source lined this stuff up amazingly. And yeah, it was tuned to 440, but it was tuned. And I just take that personally as Source thinking of me, and knowing that I was going to be there, knowing that I was going to play the piano, and all these things. Source is lining up even the minor details, because Source is awareness. Source knows the minor details. Source cares about every single aspect of our life. All the facets, everything is Source ordained. And perfection to the nth degree. So that's a bit of having the attitude of gratitude. I mean, we all got to start somewhere, and it's a growth process, right? Especially when you're coming from a very mundane physical paradigm. You don't really understand the nuances of how the soul manifests reality, because you're doing it through your body. You're trying to gauge how your physical senses are putting feedback into you, and then you're trying to manipulate, and oh, if I do this, maybe this will line up, and if I go here at so and so time, or if I call this person, maybe they'll know somebody that can line up. You know what? When you approach it from your soul and your actually when you get your spirit to manifest through your soul. And of course the soul is that mind and emotional part of us that actually gauges that state of being. And when we get that state of being right, we can literally tap into the potential that source can manifest through the physical world, even in things that we could never control. Just line up events around us that, you know what, it's just amazing. It's just amazing how this shows up. So in sticking with the principle of our past being reawakened, I'm going to end the show here, but I'm going to go out with an intro from one of the video games I played growing up. Good old-fashioned Mario. And this was Mario 64, and this was one of the most calm and tranquil songs in the whole game. Just amazing. And I just love playing this on the piano because sometimes it just gets you in tune and just calm. You let go of those physical circumstances that are bogging you down, and you just relax as if you're like in a private bay somewhere, just soaking in that water. And yeah, well, Mario taught us to chase money and chase the princess. You know, it's not about that once you grow out of that. Yeah, Source will add to you all that money. Source will add to you those amazing relationships, but you got to seek Source first, because even the person that you think is great for you, you don't know what kind of demons they have in their closet. And while money is great, you can be slaving away at a job all day and just be miserable at it. So Source can give you an idea that can literally make you a billionaire overnight. And that's the kind of infinity that we can tap into as individuals once we tap into the living Word, the living Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach. It literally is an amazing time to be alive when we're seeing the kingdom of heaven being downloaded into this earth plane. So enjoy this peaceful music from the classic Mario. I'm going to sign out. I'm going to get to eating that ragi, and I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. I really do. And I know that all of us subscribers, like I said, are truth seekers. And you know what? I pray to Source every night for us that we just have our dream lives manifested, and we tap into Source and we literally embody who Source has called us to be, and just take off from there. Just take off from there, because that's just the beginning. Once these dots start connecting, it's a whole new horizon. So I love you guys. I'll check you in the next episode. Joel signing out once again. Agape, salaam, namaste, hotep. And that's kind of what I want to do with this. And that's kind of what's going... Hotep. I don't know, did that work? Did that work? Did that work? Okay, let's try this again.